Yet Netanyahu's lies didn't stop there. He also said the same of Iran and Libya.
The two nations that are vying, competing with each other, who will be the first to achieve nuclear weapons, is Iraq and Iran. And Iran, by the way, is also outpacing Iraq in the development of ballistic missile systems that they hope will reach the eastern seaboard of the United States within 15 years. Now the question is, what's your next step? Knowing that three of these nations are developing nuclear weapons. This is not a hypothesis. It is fact. Iraq, Iran, and Libya are racing to develop nuclear weapons.
And it was not just in Iraq where Netanyahu forcefully called for regime change. He also proposed toppling the government in Iran.
Obviously, we'd like to see a regime change, at least I would, in Iran, just as I would like to see in Iraq. The question now is a practical question. What is the best place to proceed? It's not a question of whether Iraq's regime should be taken out, but when should it be taken out? It's not a question of whether you'd like to see a regime change in Iran, but how to achieve it. The application of power is the most important thing in winning the war on terrorism. The more victories you amass, the easier the next victory becomes. The first victory in Afghanistan makes the second victory in Iraq that much easier. The second victory in Iraq will make the third victory that much easier too.
Benjamin Netanyahu insisted that the United States did not need approval from the international community to wage war on Iraq.
And equally immaterial in my mind is the argument that America cannot oust Saddam without prior approval of the international community. Today, the United States must destroy the same regime because a nuclear-armed Saddam will place the security of our entire world at risk. And make no mistake about it, if and once Saddam has nuclear weapons, the terror network will have nuclear weapons. And once the terror network has nuclear weapons, it is only a matter of time before those weapons will be used.
In addition to his false claims of WMDs, Netanyahu also tried, without any evidence, to link the Iraqi government to not just al-Qaeda, but also the Taliban, the extremist Islamist group in Afghanistan.
You're making a connection between the Taliban and Iraq?
Yes, I am. I'm saying that if you look at those who harbor terrorists and those who support terrorists,
I guess I was looking for a connection between September 11th and my understanding why we went to the Taliban is there was a connection there. They were harboring somebody that we believed did the act on September 11th.
Yes, that's the first reason why you did it.
Now you're going to take me from September 11th to Iraq somehow?
Yes, but I'm saying something else. I'm saying the connection is not whether Iraq was directly connected to September 11th, but how do you prevent the next September 11th?
In response to critics who pointed out the lack of evidence for these extraordinary allegations, Netanyahu maintained that foolproof evidence was not even necessary.
And do the various critics, especially overseas, believe that a clear connection between Saddam and September 11th must be established before we have a right to prevent the next September 11th? Well, I think not.
Whether it's 1990, 2002, or 2018, it's clear that Netanyahu is still repeating the same refrain. Investigations don't work, diplomacy is a dead end, and evidence is not necessary. The only path that can and should be pursued is more war. And Israel's longest-serving prime minister has more than demonstrated his willingness to tell a few lies to sell those wars to the public.